Welcome to the BD&L channel. Today we have Ed Powers with us. He's with First Tech Federal Credit Union. Hi, Ed.
Hello.
Welcome. We are excited to hear from you today, and you have a recognition that we're going to talk about. Can you tell us a little bit about your role at First Tech and also who First Tech serves?
Absolutely, Julie. Thank you. Well, let's start with First Tech. First Tech is a premier tech credit union all across the United States and multiple countries. We've been doing it since 1950. Started humbly as the credit union for Tektronic in Oregon and the credit union for HP in California. Merged a few times, and now our First Tech Federal Credit Union. We have over 700,000 members and about $17 billion in deposits.
Right. So you're one of the big organizations, and you're about to go through a big merger as well, right?
We are. We're excited to be merging with DCU. Our legal day one is January 1st. When we merge, we'll be probably top five or top six based on some news yesterday that came out. But we're excited, definitely joining a like-minded organization that also started at tech on the East Coast. So super excited about what that brings, not only for our employees, but our membership.
Yeah. Well, as a former First Tech employee, I'm excited to see the future with how the future unfolds for you guys.
And did you vote, Julie?
I did vote.
Okay. All right. Just making
I
sure.
did.
All
Thank
right.
you for asking.
Okay. All
I am
right.
a lifetime member of First
All
Tech. That's for
right.
sure. So I brought you on today, Ed, because you were just recognized, and I've actually been wanting to talk to you about this for a while, as Altair's All-Star. You got the All-Star Award for the global mobility support services that you offer. So for those of us that might not be familiar with what that is, can you share a bit about the global mobility program you have?
Yeah, so Julie, you had something to do with this way back when, but we started
Fun
our global
times.
mobility, yeah, we started our global mobility program back when Microsoft had a need for their expats and temp employees coming into the U.S. Unable to secure vehicle loans, as well as eventually home loans and other consumer loans to get their credit built right and well. I think we recognize the fact that folks that come over from outside the US have lives. They have strong financial lives. Normally they're paying their bills, they have some level of affluence, and when they get to US, they've got no credit, and regrettably, they almost have to start over. And that's not right with us. We want to make sure that we are taking care of those folks. So when you think about it, these organizations are paying upwards of 50 to $60,000 just to move these folks into the US to be productive and great employees. And if we could create a program where we can minimize some of the tension and challenges that they experience when they come over to make them productive quicker, that was the idea. So happy to go over the program if you want me to go into
Yeah.
some depth.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like, tell us about it. I think there's a lot of interest out there, and you really like you found a need and then filled a gap, and it's really been successful for you. So anything you can share would be helpful for us.
yeah, absolutely. We've expanded our program significantly over the last 5 or 6 years that I've been part of it, both from a fulfillment perspective and just making sure that more people understand how we can help. So we serve right now about 100 different select employer groups that actually qualify for our relocation benefits, and we've also extended partnership outside of that to some partners like Altair that we just got an award from. So this program allows a member to open their checking account 60 days in advance, which is a huge difference maker for our membership, as well as the HR teams that we support. HR wants to make sure that they have an idea of where the monies are going to go. Sometimes these folks are getting bonuses to make sure that they're able to buy furniture, the whole nine when you walk into a new situation. So we want to make sure that money is accessible right away. So they can do that from the comfort of their home in whatever country they're at prior to landing here. And then once they land and get their Social Security number, we're able to extend a variety of consumer loan products and mortgage products for them at a very strong rate based on us underwriting the seg. So it's been a program that's been in existence for quite some time. It's continued to expand both in our offering as well as the members that we serve. I was just at a meeting yesterday with one of our select employer groups, and it's hard for them to stop talking about how great it is for them. And honestly, as a seg-based employer, if you can make a difference for an HR or a people team and their employee base, that's a twofer, and I'll take that all
Yeah.
day. And
Yeah.
obviously, all of this is free of charge for those organizations that we support. So it's a great value add that we're very proud of on a regular basis, and we're happy to deliver it for many of our select employer groups.
That's great because I still remember being at the Bellevue branch and having them come in to open an account. And there was anxiety and stress. I mean, they didn't even have car seats for their children to put in
Yeah.
their rental car. They couldn't get a rental car. They didn't have car seats. And so to be able to establish them 60 days before, that's a game changer for them.
Yeah, I mean, there's normally checklists of 100 or 200 things for these folks that have to get done. And if we can just clear the path for 5 or 10 of them, we want to be able to do that and do it in a way that makes a difference for the member. Sometimes they don't even realize the impact that it's going to have on their life if they get some of these things done. But again, when we hear from the employee making a difference, and we got tons of socials out there, you're happy to read about the difference that we make on a regular basis. We don't do them ourselves. They do it. They do it for us because they know that we're making a difference for them. But again, Julie, again, as the tie-in to the people orgs that we serve, when we can do that, then they really see the value of the credit union being a
Yeah.
partner. And this is one of many things that we can do for them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do love that you're making a win for HR as well. What are some of the needs that you're seeing from this population of people that are relocating to the US? And as far as product, have you changed or added products and services specifically for them? Like if other credit unions are listening and saying, "Hey, we have some people coming in. Maybe we can't do this big of a program, but maybe we can take a look at what our offerings are and how we communicate those." Do you have any recommendations?
Yeah, so the first thing that comes to mind is access to cash. Because again, if you're pretty much starting over, you need to be able to access the cash that you may have sent in advance from wherever it is you're moving. But you're also thinking about buying big ticket items. You're buying furniture, you're buying beds, and if you have kiddos, all the whole nine. You're filling up a new house or an apartment if you don't have a corporate benefit. So access to cash is number one. So that's what we prioritize. So you think about access to your P2P limits. Are they large enough? Some of the footprints that we cover, like Seattle and the Bay, many rent payments are $4,000 to $5,000. So if you think about, well, like we use Zelle, making sure that we have the right P2P limits and monitoring risk at the same time, but making sure that again, access to cash is probably number one, Julie. And then second to that would be how do we restore or reestablish their credit worthiness in the US for long-term employees. And that's where we come in with the programs that we have both for unsecured and secured loans. And then ultimately, if they choose to buy a home, we also have solutions for that. So we want to make sure that, again, access first, and then reestablishment of credit worthiness as it pertains to the US. And we like to think that if we have the right amount of trades to open for that member, on average, our Relo member on by themselves in 12 to 18 months will have a 740 FICO based on them engaging with our products and obviously paying on time. But we're doing this on purpose to make sure that these members are taken care of as soon as they can, and get them back to what probably would feel like home.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's belonging as
Yeah.
well, right?
Yeah.
So important. Yeah. So if someone wanted to start a program like this, oh, I wanted to say something else first. I remember you and I talked about this, Ed, but when this program started, we were so proud to offer a $1,000 credit card. And so, I mean, that was like a big deal for First Tech when we did that. And then we also we offered car loans. But tell us what you're offering now for credit limits.
Oh, right now it's up to $25,000. And that's all unsecured.
Yeah.
But again, I say up to, that's not everybody gets it.
Yes, right.
And then up
Right.
to a $75,000 auto loan on that side. And then the mortgage is up to 1.5 million.
Yeah.
Again, based on all credit quality and all of those things. But we do have those the ability to extend, I would say, a decent amount of credit. And
Yeah.
again, the idea is not make it make sense for the member. What is
Yes.
it they need? But then also it's really about how can we create an environment where they have active trades and can kind of stand on their own as soon
Yes,
as they
yeah,
can. Yeah.
yeah. We don't want to roll them too much into our culture of being overextended,
No, no,
right?
no, 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 no.
Right.
And
Day
yeah,
one. So
this
much
member
debt. Here you
base,
go.
yeah, they pay on time and don't have a lot of revolving credit
Yeah,
or
yeah.
debt.
And this isn't available to everybody, right?
It is not.
You qualify. So can you talk a little bit about what your qualification process is?
Yeah, so I mean, I can't get in too deep into it, but some of it's black box. But
Okay.
for the most part, these organizations need to be an existing SEG, right? So they're part of our family. They need to have a need, and when I say that, it's not just periodically moving somebody, maybe every 18 months. They need to have some level of need that would allow us to understand what potentially our risk would be in underwriting the organization because we're engaging with this organization based on the idea that we understand that the organization is paying a fair amount of money to move them in. Normally, these are very professional, very educated folks that are coming from outside the U.S. So they've got a pretty strong risk rating that we feel pretty comfortable that we can do things for. But we do vet the organization pretty heavily, and then once they're in and they're active, they can continue to be part of it. Periodically, we'll monitor their activity and engagement with us, but for the most part, those that come stay.
That's fantastic. And I know you have a really strong BD team with Christian and Min and Dom and team. And so I'm just
Don't forget
curious.
Ingrid. You can't say
Ingrid,
you can't.
Ingrid,
Don't
yes,
forget Ingrid.
Ingrid,
Okay, all right.
my Washington Husky buddy.
Yeah, be in trouble.
Yeah. Yes. Um, so as they're out and having conversations, and I guess I'm just thinking, not everybody serves those large organizations or people that bring people in, but I feel like there are nuggets to take away from this if you have another, maybe it's a different type of a program, right, that meets the needs. So what types of things as they're out and about are they looking for gaps to fill? And how have you evolved this program to really meet the need of HR and the employees? Do you have any tips on how credit unions maybe across the country can find programs that really work for their
Yeah.
employer groups,
Yeah, well,
their
Julie,
segs?
if Brian Rivers watches this and I don't mention his name because he is our account manager for Relo, I will get in a lot of trouble. So I just want to call out
Okay.
Brian and Larry that work as part of the Relo team. But I would say, generally speaking, what we've seen a lot of, and these are large and relatively smaller companies, I'd say maybe mid-sized companies, is the awareness of retail, distribution, fab workers that may or may not be making the money that folks in headquarters are making. A lot of times, a headquarters or an office is just working with, like an office full of people that I am right now, and they lose touch or access to some folks that might be working in retail sites, distribution. We've seen kind of a pivot of sorts in mid to large size companies of them paying more attention to this group. We've seen people change global mobility benefits. We've seen people change their benefits programs just to make sure that they're meeting the needs of this employee base. And when you think about some large companies or even mid-sized companies, sometimes these are upwards of 50% of their overall employee base. And you can't lose sight of that. Like this is a big deal. And these organizations, more often than not, this is where they're battling the retention battle, right? So where, their retention might be 30, 40% in some of these footprints. So they can't afford to continue to rehire their whole workforce every 2 or 3 years. So understanding what benefits this member base or this employee base, in this case, really needs is something that we've heard pretty loud and clear. We've tried to change some of our strategy. Well, I shouldn't say strategy, but really start to expose some of the companies that we work for and with about ways we can help them plan, ways that we can help them budget, ways that we can help them build emergency savings programs. So that we are walking in the door, shaking their hand and saying, we know you might have a challenge. We're here to help. And I think that's gone pretty well. I would say that we're relatively early days with that because it's just starting to pop up a lot more. But it really becomes, Julie, about how fast you can react to something like that. I try not to curate a lot of things just for one select employer group. If we can find trends where we can build content that will help more, I want to do that first. Otherwise, it gets very expensive and very nuanced. But if you are working in a group of select employer groups like we are in tech, we do have those swim lanes of stuff that matter to that HR and people team. And if we can resonate well with them, then, they're asking us for help, right? As opposed to us banging on their door. And we're not
And
that,
that's a good day.
yeah,
I mean,
that's a
that's a good day
great
when
day.
you've built that much trust.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, it's not, I think what I've learned in like the last 6 or 7 years I've been here is it's very easy for a credit union to go and say, we can help your organization. Here's 10 ways. And that's fine. But pick one. Pick one way that you can help and make sure that it's a problem for them. Don't assume that it's a problem for them. So if you can do some pre-planning or conversations or informational interviews with them, that would be ideal. But man, it's just great to sit with select employer group, people team, and just talk to them about how they treat their employees. Talk to them about how they understand how their employees are behaving, their sentiment, what they care about. And we put that in a bag and just keep that stuff. That's the great stuff to understand because chances are there's another like organization that has the same challenge and they just might not be as explicit about it. So knowing some of those challenges in certain workplaces really can make your engagement with them not only be more beneficial, but happen faster. And that's really what they want, right? They want meaningful change as soon as they can. And if they can do that with a partner that they trust, why not, right?
Yeah. I think transforming, I keep thinking as you speak, like transforming, the pitch into that information gathering. And we're recording this in the middle of November. It's always a good time to have these conversations, but it's an especially good time to have these conversations at the end of the year and plan for following year. So this
Yeah.
is a good time for people to get out and be having those deeper conversations with their contacts and also making sure we're talking to the right people high enough. A lot of times the credit union gets popped into some benefits administrator, and we need to get more. We need to get to the leaders.
Gotta climb.
Yeah, I gotta
Yes.
climb, gotta climb, Ed. All right. Well, we end on a social spotlight. Who do you follow, Ed, that inspires you?
Julie, you sent me this question last night, and I am not a social media person. So
Okay, then
honestly,
anywhere, like in the
yeah.
neighborhood, your
Okay,
your next door neighbor.
I don't want to be hokey. This might sound
Yeah,
hokey. My
you
wife
can be
inspires
hokey.
my wife inspires me. I
Aw,
mean, she gets up 4 o'clock every morning, works out. She's a vegan, so she cooks all of her own food. She's done a fantastic job raising our children. I have a 17-year-old and 19-year-old. They're awesome. I mean, I get chills just thinking about how great my kids are, and a lot of that has to do with my wife. And she inspires me every single day to get out there. And we've been a single income family for as long as we've had children, and we've made it work. And there's sacrifices here and there, but she gets done what she needs to get done. I get done what I need to get done. We're a great partnership. But man, she kicks my butt on a regular basis, and that is inspiring.
does she?
Yeah, yeah,
Every time you try to eat that donut, it's like
yeah, yeah. She's there for me. Yeah, in
she's there
spirit
for
or
you.
right behind me. I'm convinced she's
Uh,
got cameras in my office, but I haven't found any yet.
that is a fantastic answer. And I'm so appreciative. I've been wanting to have you on for a long time. Congratulations again on your All-Star Award. First Tech
Right
is an
right here,
All-Star. Oh,
right
you have
here.
it right there.
Woo!
There it is.
Thank
There it
you.
is.
Yes.
Yay. First Tech will always be an All-Star in my book.
Thanks so much, Joe. I
It's,
appreciate the time. This has been fun.
yeah, great. Thank you. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
joining us, everybody.